Emily sat quietly in Ethan's apartment, her heart filled with anticipation. The final round of the music festival was streaming live on her laptop.
Oh, Ethan, you're going to win. I just know it.
She tidied up the place, cleaning and ironing his clothes with meticulous care. Ethan had always appreciated her efforts, even if they had to keep everything a secret.
There he is! Look at him shine!
Ethan's performance was mesmerizing. The judges announced the winner.
Congratulations to Ethan Smith for winning the championship. Let's invite Ethan Smith to the stage for a speech.
Yay! He did it! He's going to be famous!
Emily's heart felt as sweet as honey, thinking about Ethan's promise to her.
Thank you to all the audience and fans for your support. For the honor I received today, I must thank one person the most. During my lowest moments, when I was lost, she was by my side, supporting and encouraging me. Without her, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Emily's heart raced faster with every word. Was he talking about her? Was he going to reveal their relationship?
She is my manager, Catherine Brown.
Emily's heart sank instantly. He had promised her that if he won the championship, he would reveal their relationship. Now, how could he go back on his word?
Maybe the company didn't allow him to do it. He can't jeopardize his career.
No matter how she tried to console herself, she still felt a bit down. She stared at her phone, waiting for his call, wanting to hear his explanation personally. Emily usually didn't call Ethan first. Even if she did, he wouldn't answer. He would reach out to her when he wasn't busy. Half an hour passed, then an hour, and then the whole night. There was no news from Ethan. Emily decided to head back to her rented apartment. She quietly opened the door, looked around to make sure no one was there, and then tiptoed inside. The place Emily rented was a bit far because the nearby area was too expensive. The extra money was better spent supporting Ethan. She couldn't bear to spend it on anything else. The apartment was just one room, about 10 square meters. After working overtime for more than half a month, she suddenly relaxed and fell into a deep sleep. It was Ethan's call that woke her up.
Ethan, congratulations. I knew you could do it.
Emily, I'm sorry. I broke my promise. The company said that now that I'm gaining popularity, it's crucial to gather fans and develop my career. If I announce a relationship now,
I understand. I really do.
Ethan's voice was full of regret, and Emily couldn't bear to see him upset, so she quickly responded. It wasn't the first time the agency had asked Ethan to hide their relationship. They had kept it a secret for so many years, a little longer wouldn't hurt.
Emily, you always understand me. Once I'm done with these few days, let's celebrate at my place.
Sure.
Emily was overjoyed and eagerly looked forward to that day. She felt rejuvenated and ready to work hard for their love. With that thought, she decided not to rest and got up to edit some of his videos. For love, let's go. A week later, Ethan's manager called and asked Emily to go to his place, hinting that Ethan had prepared a surprise for her. Feeling sweet inside, Emily bought a new dress and got her hair done. When she opened the door, Ethan had prepared a cake, small gift boxes, and bells that filled the room.
Ethan!
Emily!
They hugged tightly, and Emily inhaled his scent deeply. She could stay with him forever.
Emily, besides celebrating, there's something else I need to tell you.
Ethan's expression was serious, with a hint of nervousness. He suddenly knelt on one knee, holding a ring in his right hand.
Emily, will you marry me?
A wave of happiness washed over Emily, making her dizzy. She had been waiting for this day for so long. In a daze, she let Ethan put the ring on her finger, and they snuggled on the couch. She wished she could stay in this moment of happiness forever.
Emily, the company plans to promote me heavily, but the condition is that I can't have a relationship for the next 5 years. Emily, I can't live without you. But I also can't leave the company right now. During this time, let's not contact each other, and you shouldn't appear in public. Please wait for me. With my talent, the company will soon rely on me, and then we can talk about us. I love you. Will you wait for me? Emily, you're already mine with this ring. You'll always be mine. Just give me a little more time, okay?
Despite her doubts, Emily chose to trust Ethan. She didn't want to give up on this hard-earned love. He proposed to her, so he must truly love her, right? The room was thick with tension as I stared intently at his lips, not daring to relax for a second.
She is my manager, Catherine Brown.
My heart sank instantly. He had promised me that if he won the championship, he would reveal our relationship as a gift to me. Now, how could he go back on his word? I felt a wave of disappointment. Maybe the company didn't allow him to do it. Even though he won the championship, there were still many talented and senior musicians in the industry, and he couldn't jeopardize his career. No matter how I tried to console myself, I still felt a bit down. I stared at my phone, waiting for his call. I wanted to hear his explanation personally. I stared intently at Ethan's lips, not daring to relax for a second.
She is my manager, Catherine Brown.
My heart sank instantly. He had promised me that if he won the championship, he would reveal our relationship as a gift to me. Now, how could he go back on his word? I felt a wave of disappointment. Maybe the company didn't allow him to do it. Even though he won the championship, there were still many talented and senior musicians in the industry, and he couldn't jeopardize his career. No matter how I tried to console myself, I still felt a bit down. I stared at my phone, waiting for his call. I wanted to hear his explanation personally. Emily stared intently at Ethan's lips, not daring to relax for a second.
She is my manager, Catherine Brown.
Emily's heart sank instantly. He had promised her that if he won the championship, he would reveal their relationship as a gift to her. Now, how could he go back on his word?
Why, Ethan? You said you would tell everyone about us.
Emily, I can't risk my career right now. The company has strict rules.
Disappointment washed over her. She tried to console herself by thinking about the pressures he faced in his career.
I understand, but it still hurts.
She stared at her phone, waiting for his call. She wanted to hear his explanation personally. Emily stared intently at Ethan's lips, not daring to relax for a second.
She is my manager, Catherine Brown.
Emily's heart sank instantly. He had promised her that if he won the championship, he would reveal their relationship as a gift to her. Now, how could he go back on his word?
Maybe the company didn't allow him to do it. Even though he won the championship, there are still many talented and senior musicians in the industry, and he can't jeopardize his career.
No matter how she tried to console herself, Emily still felt a bit down. She stared at her phone, waiting for his call. She wanted to hear his explanation personally. This genuine and unpretentious audio clip immediately caused a storm online. Netizens were shocked by Ethan Smith's behavior, and many fans turned against him.
You can never truly know someone. How could Ethan Smith be such a jerk?
He looks decent on the outside, but who knew he was rotten inside?
He and his agency are in cahoots. People like him should be kicked out of the entertainment industry.
A wolf in sheep's clothing. What a waste of a good face.
I must have been blind to have liked him in the first place.
This scandal was something he couldn't recover from. Some netizens revealed that his agency had put him on ice, saying he was in a miserable state now.
This isn't enough. My father lost his life, and my mother is still in the ICU. How can the instigator get away so easily?
What I didn't expect was that in such a situation, Ethan Smith would still dare to show up at my doorstep, brazenly appearing before me. He looked much more haggard than before. His once exquisite face now seemed aged by several years, and he exuded an air of despondency and helplessness.
Emily, it's all my fault. I was blinded by my desire for fame. I broke my promises and let you get caught up in the public scrutiny. I encouraged the reporters. I did all of this for our future.
Sure, bring my father back to life, and I'll forgive you.
Spilled water cannot be gathered up again. Thinking that I would never see my father again, tears welled up uncontrollably.
Don't cry. It breaks my heart to see you cry.
Ethan Smith moved closer, trying to wipe my tears. I pushed him away forcefully, causing him to stumble and hit the coffee table, blood trickling down. This scene was eerily similar to how my mother was pushed down. Tears welled up again, blurring my vision.
I hated those people. I hated Ethan Smith.
In a fit of rage, I swung my fists at him, hitting him again and again. Ethan Smith did not resist. When I finally grew tired and sat down on the sofa, Ethan Smith slowly spoke.
Emily, you vented your anger. How about you take down the post on Weibo? I can pay you as much as you want. I'll tell the netizens that you were just upset with me, that we're good friends, and you can explain it too.
To hell with being good friends.
I hit Ethan Smith again with all my might. So this was his plan. No wonder he was so gentle today.
Leave. There's no reconciliation between us, only a fight to the end.
2 lives stood between us. How could mere money resolve this? My life had been turned upside down because of him. How could he possibly compensate for that?
Fine, have it your way. Emily Johnson, you'll regret this.
Ethan Smith left after throwing down this harsh remark. I knew him too well. He had his schemes, but he wasn't too malicious. So when disaster struck, I was completely unprepared. I was kidnapped. As soon as I stepped out of my neighborhood, I was knocked out and taken away. I stared intently. Narrator, tone, serious. Emily stared intently at Ethan's lips, not daring to relax for a second.
Ethan, tone, serious. She is my manager, Catherine Brown.
Emily's heart sank instantly. He had promised her that if he won the championship, he would reveal their relationship as a gift to her. Now, how could he go back on his word?
Emily, tone, sad. Maybe the company didn't allow him to do it. Even though he won the championship, there were still many talented and senior musicians in the industry, and he couldn't jeopardize his career.
No matter how she tried to console herself, Emily still felt a bit down. She stared at her phone, waiting for his call. She wanted to hear his explanation personally. Catherine Brown and her associates were taken into custody by the police. Unexpectedly, the investigation revealed even bigger secrets.
It turns out Catherine had always been involved in dubious activities. She coerced trainees, recorded compromising videos, and some, unable to bear the harassment, took drastic measures. She had always covered her tracks well.
This time, however, fate intervened, and she was caught. The investigation also uncovered her involvement in numerous dark dealings within the industry. Justice, though delayed, would eventually prevail.
Catherine, who had evaded the law for so many years, was finally apprehended. Those who had suffered under her tyranny could finally see the light of day. But the father who loved and pampered me would never come back.
Dad.
I murmured, crouching on the ground with my head in my hands. The void in my heart would never be filled. As for Ethan Smith, the police only gave him a stern warning and detained him for a month before releasing him. Our situation was essentially a personal dispute, too complicated for the police to handle.
My parents' tragedy was naturally Catherine's doing and had nothing to do with Ethan. He wasn't even guilty of withholding information. Moreover, he had actively protected me, buying time for the police to rescue me.
So the authorities didn't make things difficult for him and released him soon after.
I didn't realize Catherine was a lunatic. I dragged you into this hell. Emily, you can hit me, curse me. I deserve it.
I had hated him, resented him, especially when I was trapped alone. The intense hatred almost consumed me. But now, I no longer hated him. The moment he rushed to save me, I let go of everything.
It was fate that had entangled us, destined our separation. Our paths were different, and we couldn't walk together. Even without this incident, we would have parted ways eventually. Your ambitions are beyond what I can support.
With this matter resolved, I decided to go home, back to the place where I was born and raised.
There, my mother, who had been moved to a regular ward, awaited me, along with many kind neighbors who had helped me. I wanted to start anew from there.
On the day I left, Michael Taylor came to see me off, carrying a large suitcase.
Are you going on a business trip?
It wasn't until he boarded the same train with his suitcase that I looked at him in surprise.
Emily, I want to help build our hometown together.
As he spoke, his ears turned slightly red.
I
won't bother you. Just let me see you. I'll stay until your mother wakes up, then I'll leave. I won't be a burden to you.
What a fool. After such emotional turmoil, I no longer had the capacity to love anyone. I just wanted to stay with my mother and take care of our small home. As for whether Michael and I would end up together in the future, it was still uncertain. Life needed some uncertainties to be more interesting.